You can't represent the people that you don't know. And the best way to work with people is help them become accomplished at what they're trying to do. Don't do it for yourself. The best way to become involved is help people to accomplish what will better them, rather than you're going in to see what I can get out of this for me. So knowing where and when to enter, be willing to allow yourself to be guided, and find people who accomplish things, not just talk. So I think the best thing is how to be involved. If they want to be involved in the African American community, then they must go where African Americans are who are accomplishing things. In this town, you have to go over to meet White King and Curtis and they over at Africa Town. You know, go and meet them over at Black Dot Underground.
The impact of this change in the demographics in Seattle, the impact of this gentrification is that it's not only a smaller community, African American community, so Seattle loses a lot of its African American culture and influence. That's a big one, because we used to have Quincy Jones here, that's the famous composer. We used to have so many different key figures that have shaped the world. But we don't have as many anymore because we don't have as large of a community to draw from. But the impact is also a very negative one on people who look like me. I have to drive sometimes 2.5 hours to get to work. It's very, very tiring. It costs money in gas. Yeah. It's harder on my car. Yeah. For the same money, just to be able to stay here working. It means that people like me have a sense of loss and dislocation and disconnection. Mm-hmm. You're dislocated because you are trying to figure out how can I make a new community where I am. Yeah. And there's so little to draw from, and a lot of people used to know, and they're all spread out. So you're dislocated, you're disconnected. And it means a loss of your institutions. We used to have the Black Bank. The bank is gone. We used to have a number of things, and it's the loss of those things. And they're just not forming it in Auburn, forming it in Kent. It's a total loss.
Big fight that has been going on for a generation. We are so self-interest on our agenda. We don't realize that we keep fighting the same fight over and over, and we're still in the same spot. You know, and then you got the next generation to come and have to do the same thing again because we didn't defeat the issue that's keeping us back. And in order to do that, we have to come together. We got to join. We got to set aside our own personal agenda. And we have to have our goal that we all work together to win. We all working together. We can mobilize people to get the amount of vote that we need to get people in office. And we fall short of that too many times. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to take for us to wake up on that. We got to set aside our differences, and we got to focus on winning for the future. We have to set a path, a blueprint, and something in place where they don't have to keep fighting the same fight.
As long as there are people being treated unfairly, as long as there's no equity, everybody suffers, even the white people. The quality of life suffers. That's a fact. And so, you know, it's just commonplace. I have people who are not, it's like this. I have something in common with the common man and woman, okay? Regardless of what their race is. But the same things. We want a nice home, education, a nice job, all of these things. We're all in the same boat. But the problem is we have to work together. Can't do it alone. So we have to coalesce all of our efforts I mean, and that's a fact. And but we haven't been able to do it. Why? Because this country has a very hard time dealing with race and racism. That's number one. Because of slavery and because of genocide. This country had a policy to kill every Indian they could, and to deal with slaves in the harshest way.